My beloved child. The first grip behind your pain has been unmasked, and it is already losing its power. The same force that tried to drain your strength is standing in the light, exposed and defenseless. Stay with me until the end, because what chains you today will not follow you out of this moment. A hush falls over the room as if the air itself is choosing sides. 3 quiet bells ring inside your spirit, the signal that the hidden chapter has been turned. The page you were afraid to read is open, and it reads like deliverance. A current of warmth flows around your shoulders and neck, unwinding what felt like wire. Your breathing remembers a wider sky. The tightness in your chest loosens, not by accident, but because the truth arrived and claimed its seat. Archangel Michael says the first weapon against you was confusion. Confusion made your body look like an enemy when it was trying to speak. Today, your body becomes your ally again and its signals become a guiding map. The second weapon was delay, postponing rest, postponing care, postponing that checkup that keeps whispering your name. Delay grew like ivy over the door of your healing. Now the door is found, cleared, and standing open. A blue ring of protection forms around you, clear as glass and strong as steel. It seals with a soft sound like a sword sliding back into its sheath. Within this circle, only what heals is allowed to stay. Breathe slowly and picture each inhale as a ribbon of morning light. See it travel to the heaviest parts of your body, gathering what is not yours to carry. With every exhale, release it past the boundary of the blue ring and do not welcome it back. There is a letter in your hand written in the language of calm authority. The first line says, "You are not behind schedule." The second line says, "Your body has not failed you, it has faithfully warned you." You can feel the floor under your feet like a friend returning from a long trip. Stability meets you from the soles upward. Your spine remembers its original prayer to stand tall without apology. Archangel Michael says to place your right hand where the discomfort is loudest. Place your left hand over your heart like a vow. Say silently, "Only light is welcome here," and let that decision echo through your bones. If the tightness carries a name, release the name into the blue ring and watch it dissolve. If the ache carries a story, set the story down and let it walk away unaided. You are not obligated to relift what heaven has removed. Now hear this gentle instruction that will guard the days ahead. Drink living water without haste, and let it remind your blood of a wide river. Feed your body like a sacred guest you are honored to host. Sleep will return as a loyal guardian when the room is cleared of old noise. Darkness will feel like velvet instead of fear. Morning will stop arriving like a thief and start arriving like a friend at your gate. The pain had accomplices, small habits that pretended to comfort but secretly drained you. They do not belong to you now. The circle of blue does not negotiate with thieves. You will make one promise that rebuilds your temple from the inside. You will listen when your body speaks, and you will respond without delay. That vow becomes a bridge over every old pattern that wanted you exhausted. A mantle of courage drops over your shoulders with real weight. This courage is not noisy, it is clean and steady. It moves like a lighthouse beam that never grows tired of sweeping the horizon for you. There is a calendar in front of you with a date quietly glowing. That glow marks the day you choose care as a non-negotiable. On that day, you schedule what needs to be scheduled, you rest where you once pushed, and you ask for help where you once hid. If the path includes speaking to a qualified healer, your steps will be guided to the right door. Wisdom waits there with a chair already pulled out for you. Answers arrive that honor both your faith and your body. The atmosphere around you thickens with protection that feels like early morning on a mountain. Each breath is a step higher. Each step gives you a wider view than the one before. What was sent to frighten you now becomes evidence that you are fiercely guarded. Your body will show signs of clearing like clouds parting after rain. Small relief grows into a steady ease, and the ease matures into strength. There is a room in your life that needs to be rearranged. Remove the objects that remind you of exhaustion and replace them with things that speak of fresh air and clean beginnings. Your environment will echo your decision and keep you faithful to it. Archangel Michael says your name, and the sound is both thunder and balm. He walks the perimeter of your life with a patient fire that no shadow can endure. Every corridor that once felt dangerous is washed and lit. The hours ahead are not made of glass, they are made of flexible gold. You will not break if you move carefully with them. You will bend and return, like a reed in a kind wind. You are not being punished, you are being repositioned. The hidden attack was never stronger than the hand that protects you. Now that it is exposed, it cannot pretend to be destiny. Let the simple rituals anchor you: clean water upon waking, quiet minutes with your hand on your heart, a page where you write what your body tells you. Let daylight find you pausing, not rushing. Let evening find you grateful, not fighting. The voice of fear tries one last time to hiss from the doorway. The blue ring brightens and the hiss loses its words. The doorway is no longer an entrance but a sealed wall. Your energy remembers what joy felt like before the strain. That memory is not nostalgic, it is prophetic. It announces the quality of your next season. People who love you will notice your eyes clearing first. Then they will notice the way you set boundaries without shaking. Then they will watch your pace become humane and still accomplish more than before. If old habits call you back, let them speak to the ring and not to you. The ring answers with silence that cannot be argued. You walk forward untouched. There will be a sign in the next few days, a small victory you can hold in your hand. It may be a deeper breath, an easier sleep, or a burden you set down and never pick up again. Receive it as a token that the larger victory has already begun. When you feel the urge to rush, remember the new law written over your hours: mercy over hurry. When you feel the urge to ignore what your body says, remember the new law written over your choices: attention over avoidance. These laws do not accuse you, they escort you. The room you are in softens at the edges. Light settles on your shoulders like a shawl woven by someone who knows your exact measure. The name of that shawl is enough. Your future does not require the same pace that hurt you. Your calling does not require the same late-night bargaining you once tried to survive. Your strength will be quiet and lasting. As you listen now, cords that ran from your heart to old pressure points are cut cleanly. You feel lighter by a degree you can measure. The floor beneath you is more certain than it was a minute ago. The day you thought would never come is already walking toward you. It moves with the confidence of someone bringing good news to a house that is ready to receive it. Fold the welcome inside your chest and let it glow. A gentle clarity enters even the smallest decisions. What to eat, when to rest, who to trust, each choice is lit like a well-marked path. You no longer pay the tax of confusion. There is no need to rehearse the story of pain again. The account is settled and the balance reads 0. What remains is the interest of peace, compounding quietly. You will notice certain rooms, certain screens, certain voices no longer feel safe. You are allowed to step back without explanation. Safety is not selfishness, it is stewardship. What your body carries today becomes instruction for someone you love tomorrow. Your healing writes a manual in plain words. Those words will spare them the detour you endured. The shield does not flicker when the wind rises. It brightens like a sunrise taking its time. Your days will warm in the same way, slowly, surely, fully. If you hear the old whisper that told you to minimize your pain, recognize it as the same mask that hid the attack. Masks fall when truth enters the room. Truth is here and it has chosen not to leave. Your steps sound different on the ground now. They carry the weight of someone who belongs. You walk like a promise being kept. From this moment, you answer your body with kindness first. You answer your schedule with wisdom next. You answer the world with boundaries that keep the light you have received. You are permitted to ask for help and to accept it without debt. You are permitted to pause for breath even when no one else is pausing. You are permitted to rebuild slowly and call it holy. The attack is exposed and its last refuge has been taken. It cannot occupy what has been reclaimed. Your house, body, mind, spirit, is under new management. Remember the glow on the calendar. Honor it with action that respects your life. Honor it with rest that multiplies your life. The chapter ends here, but your story does not. Your story is now written with the pen of restoration. Your name is not the name of the wounded, your name is the name of the protected. Stand inside the ring and feel how wide it really is. There is room there for your dreams to stretch, for your breath to deepen, for your voice to grow calm and strong. There is room there for a tomorrow that does not hurt. Let the final seal be placed. The seal says, no trespassing to what seeks to take. The seal says, only what heals may enter. You are held by hands that have never dropped you. You are guided by a light that never goes out. You are guarded by a sword that never grows dull. Walk forward as if the ground itself loves you. Walk forward as if the air were designed to feed your lungs. Walk forward as if time were an ally, because now it is. When this video ends, your work continues in gentleness and resolve. Keep listening to the wisdom in your body and the guidance sent to protect you. Keep choosing the path that brings you back to yourself whole. My beloved child. The knight that used to press against your chest has learned new manners and keeps a respectful distance. Where pain once shouted, it now speaks softly enough for you to answer with wisdom. You are not negotiating with darkness anymore, you are setting terms with light. The sabotage tried to hide in familiar routines, the late scrolling, the skipped meals, the swallowed emotions that tasted like metal. Those routines are unmasked and escorted to the door. In their place arrive steady rituals that build you cell by cell. You rise like someone who remembers the map taped to the inside of the heart. The path shows 4 simple pillars: breath, water, stillness, truth. You touch each pillar with your awareness and feel the structure hold. Breathe as if your lungs are reading a psalm of calm. Sip as if each glass of water is a signature on a treaty with peace. Sit still for a handful of minutes and let your nervous system hear itself exhale. Truth arrives quietly, and with it, relief. Truth says you do not have to pretend strength to be safe. Truth says safety is the soil from which your real strength grows. Archangel Michael stands at your threshold like a blue flame that refuses to go out. He watches the edges where small harms used to sneak in. Every doorway is inspected, every window sealed with watchful love. You practice listening to the body you live inside. Its language is direct and merciful. A tight jaw says, release, and you unclench. A heavy stomach says, simplify, and you choose what is gentle and light. You grant yourself permission to pause in the middle of a task without apology. You let the phone rest face down and the room become a kind, blank page. In that page you find the sentence you needed: nothing urgent is worth your unhealed breath. The ache that made you bristle when kindness came near is melting. It takes with it the reflex to outrun your own needs. What remains is a stride that matches your pulse and honors your boundaries. Some rooms of memory try to draft you back into old battles. You thank those rooms for their warning and lock them with a key named finished. The corridor ahead opens with air that smells like rain on stone. You create a sanctuary in small ways that add up. Curtains that invite morning, a chair that remembers your posture, a mug that warms your hands on cool hours. These are not luxuries, they are anchors that keep the tide from stealing your attention. Archangel Michael says there is a rhythm to your healing that cannot be rushed. You will prefer consistency to intensity and tenderness to bravado. Sustainable devotion will outperform every frantic sprint you used to attempt. You choose foods that don't argue with your blood. You choose words that don't quarrel with your peace. You choose company that doesn't bargain with your worth. There is a list you used to ignore, little calls for care written in the margins of your days. Now you rewrite the list in ink and follow it with pride. Each checkmark hums like a small bell of victory. Where fear tried to legislate your schedule, courage now writes gentler laws. Law 1, leave when your body whispers, enough. Law 2, ask when your soul says, help. Law 3, rest before you are desperate. The blue ring of protection brightens when you speak to yourself with kindness. Its light is not theatrical, it is practical and dependable. It surrounds your commute, your desk, your bed, and the quiet places no one sees. There will be days that ask more of you than they should. On those days, you will ask less of yourself than you used to. Compassion becomes your strategy and results follow without injuring your spirit. Notice how your breath has more room to turn around in your chest. Notice how your hands feel like hands again, not alarms. Notice how your thoughts walk instead of sprint. You do not owe anyone your depletion. You owe your calling your presence, and presence requires fuel. Fuel arrives through care that is ordinary, dignified, and daily. When fatigue rolls in like a fog, you will not panic. You will plant your feet, slow your speech, and choose the next smallest right thing. In 3 calm steps, the fog thins and the road returns. Archangel Michael whispers your timeline into alignment with mercy. Appointments arrange themselves with cooperative grace. The door you need to knock on will open as you arrive, not a second earlier, not a second late. You cultivate small joys that repair the fibers of your attention. Sunlight on a wall, music that feels like a warm hand, the scent of something clean and new. These are stitches in the cloak that keeps you steady. The hidden attack loses its disguises when you live like a temple instead of a hallway. Temples have guardians, thresholds, and quiet hours. Hallways have drafts and foot traffic that never ends. You are no longer a hallway. Forgiveness is invited, not for their sake but for your nervous systems. It lets your shoulders climb down from their guard posts. It lets your sleep show up on time and stay until morning. You decide that your healing will not be dramatic, it will be faithful. Not loud, but lasting. Not flashy, but full. There is a place inside your chest where the past cannot reach. Guard that place and visit it daily. Let it be the silent room where no intruder's name is spoken. The body you live in wants to be your ally, you prove it by noticing and responding. You replace punishment with calibration. You replace mistrust with partnership. The day will come when you realize you haven't thought about the old pain in weeks. It will surprise you in the middle of a laugh or a walk or a simple task done without strain. You will nod to yourself and keep going, grateful and unafraid. Archangel Michael's sword stays sheathed, not because it grew dull, but because peace is doing its quiet job. He remains near, an unblinking lighthouse on the edge of your attention. Even in calm seas, his beam sweeps, just in case. You commit to the rhythms that carried you here: breath, water, stillness, truth. When life gets loud, you return to the first pillar and rebuild forward. When life gets quiet, you savor the quiet without expecting it to perform. Your name has always meant protected, even on days you forgot it. Wear that meaning like a garment tailored to your becoming. Let it move with you through every room, every hour, every needed yes and holy no. The calendar glow you chose becomes a pattern, not a one-time spark. With each week, your capacity grows without demanding a price from your peace. With each month, your strength feels native, not borrowed. This is not fragile progress, it is reinforced with care and honesty. It is supported by boundaries that let love in and keep harm out. It is sealed with attention that sees you as worthy in ordinary moments. Stand once more in the blue ring and feel how it remembers you. The ring does not tire, does not dim, does not forget its assignment. You are escorted by a guardianship that works while you rest. And when this message ends, the practice continues, gentle and true. You will treat your hours like living things and your body like a loyal friend. You will move through your days with the dignity of someone thoroughly protected.